So I'm just outside of downtown Cincinnati at the house of Whitney Woodburn. She's a Lyme disease advocate, and she's also dealt with a case herself. And today we were on the news. We were on Fox News, and we did a little segment there. And then she showed me around the Cincinnati area. And tonight we're going to have an event at the Refuge Coffee Bar. And right now, we're going to hear a little bit about her story, how she got involved in Lyme disease advocacy.
When I was in junior high, I woke up one morning with really bad rib pain. My mom thought it was growing pains, and we didn't really pay attention to it for a while. Probably a month later, we went to the doctor. So I had that all the way through high school. In high school, I was really, really active. I did martial arts and did everything the typical high school kid did, still being sick but fighting through it. I went to college for nursing. I was 15 weeks away from taking my board and getting my nursing license when I couldn't walk anymore. And being an employee in the hospitals here, I knew when my mom came to me and said that she thought I had Lyme disease, I told her she was crazy, that Lyme disease didn't exist in Cincinnati and we don't treat that kind of thing here. So I've been on both sides of it. So we got in contact with a doctor on the East Coast. It was a 13-hour drive for us. My parents packed us up. We drove to the East Coast. He did confirm I had Lyme disease and started me on treatment. I did about 13 months worth of treatment at that point in time between a doctor here in Ohio and a doctor on the East Coast. And then I went into remission for a couple of years and did really, really well. Married my husband now, and eventually had our daughter. 5 weeks after I had our daughter, my organs started failing, and I started having multiple surgeries, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And that's when my mom again said, "Hey, I think it's Lyme." So we found a doctor closer to home that's actually 2 hours away now versus 13. And she started treating me. I did IV antibiotics, which aren't covered by insurance. We have great insurance, and they would not cover my antibiotics. So we were putting out like $1,000 a month for every month I was on antibiotics.
And when did you start your support group?
We started the support group, I think it's been about 2 years ago now. My friends at church threw a benefit for me because we couldn't afford my medicine. And during that, it opened up opportunities to talk to the news, to talk to the newspaper, and then all these people started coming out of the woodwork in Cincinnati saying, "Oh my goodness, I have the same symptoms you do. My story is so much like yours. Can you help?" Mm-hmm. So I just became a self-proclaimed advocate.
And as an advocate, what are some of the major challenges you see Cincinnati patients facing?
They get to the point where they're so sick that they have so many doctors in this area. They've been diagnosed with so many different things, and then eventually it falls into the bucket of you're a psychiatric patient, you need depression medication, you're schizophrenic or have bipolar disorder. It's a struggle because once you get to the point where you've been told that's been spoken over you so much, they almost feel like they're hopeless.
Next, so we have the event tonight at 5 o'clock at the Refuge Coffee Bar.
Correct.
And that should be great. I think you're getting a lot of people from your support group who are going to be there.
There seems like there's a good crowd that's going to be there.
It's really hard to find. Not only is I think that it's not just benign kind of, oh, we don't know enough yet, because we know enough, but the doctors are hostile. It's not just benign ignorance, it's almost like hostility about it. And I just ran into it this past week with a neurologist that I saw, and I made the mistake of telling him I had Lyme disease. And that's not something that is very cool to bring up, because immediately, bam, you're labeled as some wacko,
Up east in Massachusetts, and had to go up there while I was on the PIC line to try to get real help that wasn't gonna, make me worse like it was with the doctors that were around here, because really nobody knows about it around here. And the one specialist that I knew of in Cincinnati sat there and told me to my face, "Do not worry, you don't have Lyme, you can check it off your list." And I went almost 10 years without being diagnosed.
I went to a urologist who had learned about Lyme disease in his youth, and he decided to put me on antibiotics for a while because of recurrent prostate infections. And I asked him, can that antibiotic be doxycycline? And he said, okay. So I've been on that for a year and a half, and I've not had recurrence of any of those symptoms.
The disease has spread, but the funding has not. And if it's the top infectious disease, why is it the least funded infectious disease?